Hey guys, it's Finn here, and in today's video, I'll be discussing every single game that's coming up in Premier League Matchweek 24, and once again, we've got such an exciting Premier League Matchweek coming up this weekend, with huge games like Southampton versus Wolves, Leeds versus Arsenal, Liverpool versus Leicester City, and of course the big one, Tottenham Hotspurs versus Manchester City. Which I will say, the Spurs have lost a lot of points over the last month or two, and I feel like if Spurs don't at least look good versus Manchester City, this could be the end of Jose Mourinho at Spurs.
What is this?
And of course, don't forget, if you do like regular football content, please do consider subscribing to this channel. I know I say it a lot, but we are just 10 subscribers off of 900 subscribers. That is huge. Thank you so much, guys, for getting me this far. And I would really appreciate hitting that milestone. So make sure that you have hit that subscribe button down below. But let's get into the predictions for match week 24. And first prediction, it is going to be a huge one, as game number 1 is Leicester City versus Liverpool. Now, I can't put too much between these two teams. I'm going to make it a 1-1 draw. Now, obviously, this is 3rd versus 4th place on the Premier League table. That is huge. Leicester City 3rd, Liverpool 4th. Now, Leicester City, I don't know if I believe that they can beat Liverpool. They've had some pretty good games so far this season, but I wouldn't say that they've been spectacular. Leicester City, I think they've been consistent throughout the season, but we've definitely seen games where they don't have the correct attacking ability. Jamie Vardy has been injured, but he should be back from injury now, and it's just a matter of him picking up on form. But until he picks up on form, I'm not too confident in their ability. And looking at Liverpool, need I say any more? They've just lost 4-1 to Manchester City, and I don't care what Jurgen Klopp says. In my opinion, it wasn't even a close contest. Manchester City were better in every single way. And look, I heard Manchester City fans say that a Brazilian goalkeeper will win the game for them. I thought they meant Edison, but it turns out Alisson just might be a spy sent by Manchester City. He was that bad for Liverpool, unfortunately. Look, fantastic goalkeeper, but a horrible match for him. I don't think he'll make the same mistakes in a game like this. But at the end of the day, Liverpool are in bad form. Leicester City are okay. I can't divide these two teams too much. I think that it will be a draw, a very tight contest. Play to watch, once again, probably going to be like Mo Salah. You just always have to go for the Egyptian king, in my opinion. Now, game number 2 is going to be Crystal Palace versus Burnley. And the debate I always have with these two teams is Crystal Palace, their attack can look amazing. Burnley defense can look amazing. So it really is two contrasting teams. But I do feel like I have to go for Burnley on this one, because Burnley, previous game, was a 1-1 draw with Brighton. But I will say this, they looked really good in that game. Even in attack, Burnley in attack looked really good in that game. They took their chances well, and in my opinion should have won that game. So Burnley, in my opinion, because their all-around style of play looks better, I'm going to give them the win. I like Crystal Palace, but to me still too many defensive problems. But I won't make it a huge win for Burnley, because they also did lose 2-0 to Bournemouth in the FA Cup. Anything can happen, but I will give it to Burnley, and I'll make Barnes the player to watch. He's looked very good up front as of late, and I think he can bang a goal. Now, game number 3. We never normally have it so early on in these prediction videos, but Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, Manchester City, I want to give Spurs a chance. I love Jose Mourinho so much, but I can only see Manchester City winning this one. I can't remember the last time they lost. Just genuinely don't remember, which sucks, obviously, as a Manchester United fan, which you wouldn't believe I have a lot of blue. But I do think Manchester City are probably going to beat the likes of Tottenham Hotspurs. I really want to give them a chance. They did beat West Brom 2-0, but once again, that is expected. When it comes to momentum, Spurs just aren't getting the wins. But now that Harry Kane is back from injury, he is looking a bit stronger. But unfortunately, as much as I like Jose Mourinho versus big teams, Jose Mourinho can play the most boring football in the world, and boring football doesn't always win games, especially versus Pep Guardiola's tiki-taka version of football at Manchester City. I think Manchester City are going to win this 1-0. I think they are very confident after that 4-1 win versus Liverpool. And in terms of a player to watch, I'm tempted to go for full Foden, but once again, Gundogan has looked so incredibly good. I am going to give it to him. And now that the big game is over, we can rest a tiny bit. And it is going to be Brighton versus Aston Villa next. Now, once again, I am a fan of Brighton because obviously Percy Tau, the South African. But unfortunately, I do have to give Aston Villa the win in this. Now, obviously, in their previous game, they beat Arsenal 1-0, scoring like 74 seconds into a game. And what a shame on Arsenal letting him finish 74 seconds in. Doesn't sound familiar at all. But at the end of the day, I do just think Aston Villa are the better team overall. Defensively, can look very, very strong. Martinez in the goalkeeper position can look unstoppable. The attack and midfield of Aston Villa are just so much better. Even though Brighton's defense do seem to be a bit stronger as of late, I will give Aston Villa the win. And in terms of a player to watch, I'm going to go for Ollie Watkins. He's been in really good striking form as of late. Now, game number 5 as we reach the halfway point. Southampton versus Wolves, another really, really big game. And it's so weird because if you asked me 2 weeks ago who I would have gone for, I would have said Southampton 2-0 maybe every day of the week. But I will give Wolves the 2-1 win in this fixture. Now, unfortunately, Southampton, it's just not working well for them defensively. Very, very sloppy. They've had injuries, they've had suspensions, they've had red cards. And it's just not looking good. Attacking-wise, they are not hitting the attacking form they were in the beginning of the season. Everything is just not fitting for them at the moment. Where if you look at Wolves, once again, haven't been spectacular this season. Still missing Jimenez up front, even though they've got Jose Williams. But a 0-0 draw versus Leicester City. I was really, really surprised that they didn't concede because Leicester City's attack didn't look too bad in that game. But they held the fort. They looked very, very good. And because of that, I think Wolves will just scrape a 2-1 win versus Southampton. But once again, it is one of those games where the result really could go either way. And in terms of a player to watch, I'm going to go for Jose Williams. Obviously, he hasn't scored his first goal for Wolves yet, but I think that his first goal will come in a game like this, a big game. Now, game number 6 is going to be West Brom versus Manchester United, which, don't know if you guys knew this, but I am a Manchester United fan. Now, obviously, I am going to give Manchester United the 2-0 win in a game like this, and I don't feel like I should justify myself too much. West Brom are second bottom from the table. Manchester United are second top on the table. Saying that a few weeks ago, that was my argument when it came to Sheffield United and being first. Did not pan out too well, but you know what, statistically, I just feel like Manchester United really should win this game. But Manchester United's problem is they seem to underestimate the ability of opponents. That's why they lose points. Or in that game versus Everton, that 3-3 draw, it's because they thought they won it at halftime. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, it is not over until it's over. And I feel like that's Manchester United's mentality at the moment. But as I said, West Brom's defense has been shocking. Big Sam has did it over and over and over again. And with the likes of Manchester United's attack, they should get a 2-0 win and hopefully a clean sheet. And now from one big game to another, it is going to be Arsenal versus Leeds United. Now, everything in my ability wants to give Leeds United a win in this. They play very, very exciting football. Their attackers look really good as of late, especially with Harrison, Bamford, Rafinha. It is all looking very good, but unfortunately for them, I will give Arsenal the win in this. Obviously, Arsenal did lose to Aston Villa, so you're probably surprised to see me do that. Look, Arsenal obviously had an incredible spell, but they are starting to drop form a tiny bit, so they do need to work on that if they want to compete for a European spot. But I do think Arsenal will win 1-0. Obviously, the red card suspensions are over. Some of their best players are coming back, and on paper, Arsenal still do have the better team compared to Leeds United. Anyone really could win this game, but for some reason I just feel like Arsenal are just going to scrape a win because I'm still very worried about Leeds United's defense. Now, talking about proving a point, next game is going to be Everton versus Fulham, and I'm saying prove a point by the means of Fulham have not looked bad as of late. I mean, they've gotten a lot of draws. Those are very necessary points, but they need to start getting wins if they want to escape the relegation zone, because they are looking so orange at the moment in terms of draws that they want to build a wall between themselves and Mexico. They need to get some wins. But versus Everton, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. Everton have just beaten Spurs 5-4 in the FA Cup. That is a huge win. That is an attacking triumph. They are looking so good. That 3-3 draw versus Manchester United, and those two games have proven to me that Everton have a lot of determination as of late. And I think that attacking ability, as long as they don't underestimate Fulham, they should get the win. Because earlier on the season, Everton were far ahead of Fulham, but Fulham caught up towards the end of the game and almost drew with Everton. Everton cannot let their guard down. They must stay determined, and I think that they will get the result versus Fulham. In terms of a player to watch, I'm actually going to go for Sigurdsson. I think if Sigurdsson can play in a game like this, he can do really well. He's not even a starter, but as of late, when James Rodriguez is injured or if Sigurdsson is substituted on, he's been really good as of late. And versus a team like Fulham, I feel like he could play, and I think he'll do relatively well. Now, second last game of this Premier League match week is going to be West Ham United versus Sheffield United. And I feel like West Ham really should win this one, obviously. They've been good throughout this entire season. They are fighting for a Champions League spot, which I didn't expect. I thought they would be close to the relegation zone by this point in the season, once the season started. I did not rate West Ham United, but they've been so impressive this season. As I said, their whole team, as a team, West Ham are really playing well. They didn't look good in the FA Cup versus Manchester United, but versus Sheffield United, they really should get the result, because although Sheffield United do seem to be playing better football, they are still not getting the results. Look, it was a 2-1 loss versus Chelsea, which on paper doesn't look too bad versus a top team. But on the other hand, Chelsea did score all 3 of those goals. So I do think West Ham United are going to win this one. Player to watch, I'm going to put Jesse Lingard. There's just a certain energy Jesse Lingard has on the pitch. He wants to play football, and that is so exciting to see. Now it is time for our final prediction of this Premier League match week. But before I get into that, guys, I do want to remind you to subscribe if you are not, and please hit that like button down below. I'd love to hit 10 likes on this video. Along with that, if you have not seen the previous video that I did on this channel, I did a combined starting Premier League 11 by only using one player from each club. One West Ham United player, one Liverpool player, one West Brom player, you name it. Only one player from each squad. So if that is a video you do want to see, please check it out in the eye thingy up above, if I do remember to do it, or in the description down below. Now, final prediction, Chelsea versus Newcastle United. I am going to give Chelsea the win in this, because they really should win this game. I will say it. Under Thomas Tuchel, I think that Chelsea's attack has really improved. They seem to be more attacking positive. They seem to be more confident in their attack. And compared to Frank Lampard, this Chelsea team just seems to be a lot more motivated to move forward. I think that they are going to get the result. I'm expecting a huge 3-0 win versus Newcastle United. Now, Newcastle United did really actually not look too bad versus Southampton in their previous game. But obviously they did get a red card. That does mean a suspension. And they did suffer with injuries. So I do feel like their squad is going to lack a bit of depth versus Chelsea. Now, Newcastle United, as I said, did look very good. So I wouldn't actually mind putting one of their players as the players to watch in this fixture. Obviously, Almiron has not looked bad. Willock, his debut was amazing for Newcastle United. Getting an amazing goal on his debut. Created beautiful space. So I do think that there are some promising features at Newcastle, but once again, Mason Mount from Chelsea, probably one of the most determined players in the Premier League to help his club grow. I love Mason Mount, one of the best players in the world in terms of fighting for his badge. That's what I think about Mason Mount. An incredible young player, but ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of my Premier League Match Week 24 predictions. Once again, if you have stuck around to the end of the video, please do like the video down below. If there are any predictions you heavily disagree with, tell me in the comment section down below, along with who is your favorite player from your Premier League club. For me personally, Manchester United. Weirdly enough, I've always been a huge fan of Luke Shaw. I don't know why, but I have always been. Tell me who your favorite player is. But guys, that will be the end of today's video. Love and appreciate every single one of you. See you next time. Cheers.
Unknown Brain, Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations.